All right, good morning, everybody. This is Ron with Sandcar Services. For those of you that want to see the long version of this, it'll take me some time. It'll be on my YouTube channel under Ron Williams. You can find me pretty easy. We need to do some education on Mendeola because in the last 48 hours, I have had two separate phone calls with people interested in buying transmissions or cars with transmissions that said they were 2Ds and they in fact were E-boxes. And E-boxes are not what you want behind a V8. Okay, the torque of a V8 is going to kill an E-box. So let's go over this really quick. Sorry for the sound of my voice. I'm trying to get this done in under 6 minutes to be able to upload to Facebook because they have a time restraint. So here's the first thing that you need to understand. E-box and 2D both share the same main case. Just because it says Mendeola MD4S on it, that doesn't mean it's a 2D, okay? That just means it's a Mendeola box. You can have an E-box, and there was one for sale a little while ago on Marketplace that had a deco case. It was still an E-box, or known as an eco box. So you have to be careful because the main case is the same. The only easy way to really tell an E-box externally is right here. So this is a gear carrier housing. This is what actually supports your gears, right? And this all slides into this housing down here on the bottom. So all your gear stacks are right here, okay? If you have a 2D, you look at this gear carrier. So right here would be your tail cone, which is where your shifter is. This intermediate housing right here, the gear carrier housing on a 2D, has a very thick flange. It's a little over an inch thick. If you look at, this is a gear carrier housing from an E-box. See how much thinner that is? I marked it right there. Of course, it was hard to make the little arrows because of how thin it was. Looks more like a TIE fighter now. But that's the easiest way to spot the E-box. If the transmission that you're looking at or the car you're looking at has a very thin flange, not the bolts so much, they are definitely taller, but the easiest thing is this flange right here. See that line that goes around? Okay, same here, but see how fat it is? And the reason why is because all the gears in a 2D are bigger. It's a stronger transmission inside the gear carrier. So here's a 2D pinion shaft, and here's an E-box pinion shaft. They're both lined up perfectly level. See how much longer? 3/4 of an inch, right? Roughly. Here's a 2D main shaft. Now these I have lined up on this end, but it's not so much how much longer it is because it's still 3/4 of an inch. But look how much wider first gear is on a 2D than an E-box. Same thing with second gear. Look how much more gear face that you get on a 2D from an E-box. Now, E-boxes are great for 4 cylinders, little V6s, vehicles that are 300 horsepower or less. And there's really nothing wrong with them. The E-box was definitely a step up from an 091 transmission in a lot of ways. But where the confusion comes in is that the 091 has a smaller ring gear where the E-box, because it's running the Mendeola case, was moved up to a 10-inch ring and pinion, which is the same ring and pinion that the 2D runs. It's also the same size ring and pinion the S4S runs. The S4D is an 11.5-inch ring and pinion. We're not going to go there. But the ring and pinion was definitely larger. Okay? But if it's an E-box, you got a great bulletproof, for that horsepower, you got a great bulletproof differential, but you still got these tiny little gears, which are Type 1 002 gear cluster. I mean, we're talking late 1950s, early 1960s Volkswagen gearing inside a Mendeola casing. So we need to be careful when we're making purchases. If you're going to be buying something, contact whoever your favorite transmission shop is and show them a picture of what you're going to be purchasing. And you need to get a picture of these gear clusters on the side so that you can tell if you in fact are buying a 2D or if you are going to be buying an e-box. Now, I would love to lay out all the different parts. I'm going to do that on the YouTube video and go into more depth. But the bottom line is that the e-box in the Mendeola case is definitely a stronger transmission. But the fact that it's in a stronger case does not make it fit behind a V8 engine, because you're going to destroy an e-box with a V8 unless you drive really, really smooth. So I hope this helps everybody out. We're coming up on the 6-minute mark, so I got to go. It's going to take me some time. I'm super busy, but I will get a comprehensive version of this uploaded into my YouTube channel, and hopefully this will help people out.